Stupid ads. I'm sick and tired of these stupid ads everywhere. And no one cares about these dumb ads. These ads ain't even getting these people no damn work. Like people just gotta understand that when you want something, you're gonna go deal with it. Like we don't need to see an ad every fucking 5 minutes or every day. Ads are annoying. Oh my god. That's one of the worst things on social media, period, is ads. Like take a break, bro. You don't need to like see ads every friggin' day. Should be like once a week. And do it when I'm sleeping. Hey Santina, how you doing, sweetheart? You good? How's it going? You okay? Good. Yeah, I'm alright. I'm just tired of working. But I'm okay though. I'm good. I try not to complain about anything. I just complain about stupid people, that's all. That's my only complaint in the world. It's stupid people. I can't handle it. But otherwise that mom and dad's good. I'm good. My dog's good. My family's good. That's what that matters to me. Everybody's healthy and out of the away from the hospital or don't have medical issues. I'm happy. And I've been very busy with work. So work is good. Been busy. So when I'm busy, it's like I get tired, but I'm still like I'm happy that I'm busy. It's nice to be busy and be occupied. But I do take my breaks. Thanks for the super chat, sweetheart. Appreciate it. You said, "Can I get a generating whatever spirit wants to tell me?" All right, cool. Yeah, being busy is good to a certain extent. As long as it doesn't make you overtired. All right, so what I got here in general is you might have some setbacks with like getting material things, or you might have some obstacles with like spending money, wanting to spend some money, but you're kind of like maybe thinking maybe not, maybe you should, might not want to spend money, but you have to spend money in some type of way. Um, Try not to go and spend unnecessary money is what they're trying to say. Um, Release yourself from that. Like spirit wants you to like don't all because you have to spend money or all because you like you have to waste some type of money or spend money on something. Like they don't want you to like let that hold you back from doing things. Yeah. Trying not to spend unnecessary money. Yeah. But they're saying that, that's just the only thing that they suggest not doing. Um, they also feel like you're reaching towards a better life. You're beginning to understand that there is a good life after separations or being single or being without somebody and not having somebody to aggravate you. Hey Ninja, how you doing? So they want you to stay determined, and whatever your desire is, keep your desires like afloat. Like make sure you have the willpower and to attain all the necessary goals, everything you want to do. Make smart choices, and like you'll resolve all these issues. Like you'll resolve everything. um Try not to like fight with anybody, especially like if you have like a I know you have children, but this could be like your youngest child you have. It could be like struggling with their desires, or they're not satisfied and they may have conflict, or they might be like going against your your decisions. Like you might have that happen where you might have to deal with a younger person or a younger child, um, you know, fighting and like going back and forth. Or if it's not arguing and fighting, it's like they're going through struggles and obstacles, and you don't know how you're going to deal with them, or you are dealing with them, but unfortunately they're still stuck. Like they're still like fighting the struggle, and you're not sure whether or not they're going to understand that they're closed in and they have to like come out of their shell, and then they have to like basically um stay away from negative shit pretty much, and negative situations. But you might have a little bit of a struggle or a little bit of a task with your youngest, because they feel like they can't get ahead. And um if you see that, don't try and make it worse. Like, you know what I mean? Try and give them a little bit of leeway and make them feel like they can overcome their struggle. Don't beat them down while they're down. I know you're not going to do that, but like um if you see somebody doing it, or they're telling you somebody is, give them your support if you want to. Yeah. But I always see spirit with you, and today I actually see multiple people sitting at a table. And when I was closing my eyes, shuffling the cards, like I saw at least like 6, 7 people all sitting at a table. And it just shows you that these people are all around you, and they're all at one table, so everybody in spirit that's with you is unified, like they're all together. So that means to me that they're they're your judge and jury, you know. They're the ones that are at the table making sure that, hey, we're here. If you need us, we're here. We're here sitting at the table waiting to conjure up a plan, you know? And it's men and women, to be honest. Like I can see a guy, like I can see a black guy with glasses and he has like a very, very short haircut and he's got like a clean face and he's like a brown skinned guy and he's got a suit on and he's like sitting at the table at the head of the table. But he's an older guy, probably like maybe in his 70s, and he's at the head of the table. And then there's like another younger guy, and there's like a woman, and then the rest of the people I can't really see. I see their head count. But there's a few people sitting at this table, and he's the one talking. He's like, "We're here, just let her know that we're here." I'm like, okay. Yeah, it probably is. If he's about 70 something, then I would say this is him. Or he looks about that. But he's well dressed and like he's got glasses, yeah. But he looks clean, like he shaved, like like he just shaved or something. Like he looks clean. Yeah. Like I don't know if he had like any religion vibes around him or church vibes. That's the vibes I got off of him, like he was like going to church or something, where he believes in God and maybe he went to church. I don't know. Okay, well, yeah, that's him then. Yeah, yeah, he seems like a church guy because he's talking about like God and things like that, and like he's kind of giving me like you know, the vibe that he went church. Yeah, so he's at the head of the table, and there's like people around him. Can't see all their faces, but that's the person I see at the head of the table. Like he's probably like the head honcho spirit, and he's got like people that around him at the table. I can see like a younger guy, and he's like a darker complexion, and he's got like a box haircut, like from back in the day. Like black guys had that box haircut, and like he's got like a slight beard, but he looks younger. He looks maybe like in his late 40s, maybe 50, and he's like putting his hand on his chest. So maybe he died from like a heart attack or something to do with his lungs or something like that. But it's more like a sign where he's like, what's up type of thing. Like, but I think he had problems with his chest. But it's a younger guy. But he looks like he's from like back in the 90s. Could be like, a cousin or somebody who died in a younger age. Could also be like his side of the family, your grandfather's side of the family, because he's like the right hand man next to him. Like it's somebody else. Oh shit! Your cousin died from a heart attack 2 weeks ago. I'm sorry to hear that. Shit. Oh, if he looked like that, it could be him if he's that age. If he's around like late 40s, 50, and he fits that description, and it could be him. Or it could be showing me like what he looked like back then if he looked like that back then, it could be him. Because sometimes spirit shows you what they want to look like, or like what you know them as. Yeah. Well, as it doesn't matter. Like when they die, I can see them right away. So I know that for a fact. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. It could be him. I don't know if you fit that description, but it could be him. That's what the guy looks like. Like he looks like a player type guy, you know? You're welcome, Santine, anytime. It's always a pleasure reading for you. Spirit's so nice when they come to you. They're always forthcoming. They always let me know that they're there. You're one of the very few people that happens to. I think it's because more like you acknowledge it, you know what I mean? Yeah, they always let me know everything when it comes to you. That's one thing. But most people it's like that. But like with you, sometimes you and a couple other people I know, like it's more than one person that comes around, and it's very easy. Like I don't even have to ask. They just show up. They're like, yeah, I'm here. They need to ask. They need to say nothing. It's bam, bam, bam. Like just no problem. Which is great. I wish everybody was like that, but sometimes it's difficult. See what it is if you're putting in the work and you're like acknowledging the fact that you know it's true and you know like they're there, then it's easier because you already believe it. So that's the thing. And every time somebody passes away, it's just yet another person on your side. If you know them and you're cool with them, it just makes you stronger because to me in my mind and in my beliefs, the more people that you know that passed away and you are cool with them and you know they will have your back in spirit, that makes you a more powerful person spiritually. It definitely adds to the power around you. That's for sure. Because with me, I find that my gift got stronger and stronger as more and more people died that I knew. Whereas when I first started, like really tapping into it, it was cool, but not like now. Now it's like it's so easy. I don't have to really like close my eyes and like really like try and bring them in. Now it's just like it just happens. It's like bang, bang, bang. It's like it's just instant. It's not even like a struggle anymore. Sometimes I would always wonder if it's the right person or whatever. But now it's just like it just happens. It's like instant. And I feel it's because my belief in the people that have passed away. I know that they're helping me. So consider your cousin passing away. If you are cool with him, consider him being on your team. And if you want him to be, you can just say, hey, you want to help me, cuz you can definitely help me. If you don't, that's cool. You can help your family or whatever, or just accept the fact that he can help you or add to the power. That's how I look at it. Some people be like, no, it doesn't work that way, Mark. Well, I don't give a shit what you think. This is what I think. That's all that matters. So yeah. But with you, you have nothing to worry about. Hey, Miss Bikini, how you doing? How's it going? Yeah, if you believe, you shall receive. That's for sure. I always tell people like to acknowledge their past loved ones because how would you feel if like you passed away and everybody forgot you and don't give a shit about you and you have this power to help and you're like, you know what? I'll just stay over here in the spirit world and do what I gotta do and to hell with all of you. You know? Oh, nice, Miss McKinney. That's cool. I've always wanted to do that. That's a cool thing. I wish I had like a camper and just go camp out somewhere and just chill. Like, I'd be scared going by myself. Hell yeah. I wouldn't be scared because I know like spirits got my back and God won't let nothing happen to me like that because I believe that. But you know, going somewhere like just make sure you're safe. You know, and obviously make sure you lock everything, put the alarm on, cameras, all that shit. Make sure you carry a baseball bat, some mace. No, I'm not. I'm just joking. You'll be fine. Yeah, there you go. Keep your head on the swivel. But if you go with the intention of being scared, then it don't make sense. You know, so just know that that feel will be there in spirit helping you and so will everybody else. That's all you gotta do. If you the only way we fear is if we don't believe. And if you don't believe that God and spirit doesn't have your back, then it's not gonna work. You might just stay home like a scaredy cat and live your life like a scaredy cat. You know? Yeah. Either way, whatever you're scared of, it doesn't like, whatever it is, just like make sure you don't remain that way. That you just like say, yeah, it's cool, I can handle it. Hi. What's up, Marty? How you doing? You good? I don't know if you nodded out and slept last night. I was all calling your name. I'm like, Marley, I gotta tell you something. I was gonna tell you about your grandfather. I know you fell asleep. I'm here like, Marley, you here? I ended up getting so busy, but I wanted to like relate the message to you before I got busy, but I ended up getting busy and then I ended up caught in between the readings. I was like, Marley, you here? And I'm like, I got no response. I'm like, yeah, Marley's going to sleep. The next thing you know, Virgo is like, I'm going to sleep. Everybody else is going to sleep. Everybody's like, yeah, fuck this shit. I'm out of here. My dog's going to her bed. She's had enough of her blanket. Oh, no, actually, no, she's going to go round and round on her blanket. Oh, no, she's going to her bed. Yeah, I knew she was. She just had to do the ring around the rosy. Yeah, she went to her bed. She's like, fuck this shit. Yeah, the Island channel is what we always watch. I didn't want to be on here that late last night, but I just kept getting busy and I didn't want to like say no to anybody. Because then people be like, Mark's fucked up, he didn't answer my question. He said, fuck you guys, I'm going to sleep. I'm definitely going to not be on here too long. I got in my bed way too late. But it happens. You're ringing around the rosy. Yeah, go for it, Miss Bikini. Have fun in life. So yeah, Marley, I was gonna tell you about your grandfather and what he said to me. Because what was I gonna say? When I was talking to you and your mom, um, he was saying something, and then you said, "All right, guys, I'm getting out of here." So I'm like, "Oh, I can't. I'll just finish it over my side." But like he was kind of feeling like I don't know if he left anything for your mom, but if he didn't, I would say this, like, because what he said to me was weird. That's why, like, I had to figure it out because he was saying like he feels kind of bad for not leaving your mom with something more than what he left. So if he left her with an inheritance, it might have not been enough, or he may felt like he if he did, it wasn't enough. Like if and he hopes that she's not offended. And if he didn't give her anything, or she wasn't like didn't get anything from his inheritance, then he wants her to know that he apologizes. Like so, either way, he's kind of like kind of feeling like a certain way about what he left his kids or what he left her or some bullshit like that. Like he was saying to me, but he was like mumbling, but like he was kind of like not wanting to say anything. So I like he kind of said it, but it was like under his breath. Like he probably thinks that it was something like that. Ah, okay. So that's why he feels the way he feels then. Okay, now I get it. Cause he was like mumbling it, like in a like he didn't want her to feel like a certain way, like about him. So now that makes sense then. See, that's what happens when you don't have a will. It goes to the oldest one. Oh, even if you do, it still can go to that if they wrote it. Okay, but like he doesn't want her to feel like a certain way towards him because he felt like he could have done something about it. If there was no will, he kind of feels like there's a like she probably said, my dad, he should have made a will so we all would have got something. So because she didn't get nothing, yeah, see that's why. Because the law in most places is if there is no will, it goes to the oldest person, which is not fair, because that's bullshit. There should be a law where it goes to the family, not just the one person. Because what if the oldest one don't do shit and the youngest one did? Like in my case, I'm the one who does everything for my family, but then we're all on the will. So it's like, yeah. Because when I was talking to him, he was with your grandma, right? But she didn't say nothing. She was just there in the background, like I can see her. But he was like, because your mom asked about him, he came through and he said a few things. But like he knows how your mom feels. So he's like, yeah, he was like this. Like he turned his back to me and he said, I heard him say, yeah, I didn't even leave her any inheritance. She probably thinks that I'm fucked up. Like he said somewhat like that. He didn't say fucked up, but like he basically said like I didn't even leave her any inheritance. So I feel like I let her down. And he felt fucked up. Like I got like an emotional energy from him as he walked away and he said that. And I was like, it's okay. Like, I'm sure she'll be fine. I'm sure she's okay. Like, you know. Yeah. So maybe your grandma didn't say anything either because maybe she feels like she could have done something too. But then again, you know, it could like I don't know if the oldest daughter did more than your mom, I don't know that, but the way I'm kind of feeling is like the way from their actions and the way they were with me yesterday, it was like he kind of like was saying what he felt, but he never really said more. Like he was just kind of feeling guilty because he didn't leave your mom anything. So if the oldest one didn't deserve it all, then probably he's probably like, fuck, I should have left it for all my daughters. That's what I get the feeling that he felt that way. But he wouldn't really say nothing. There you go. That explains everything. I knew something was up, but I didn't know how to like. I didn't want to say it in your in your chat. Plus, you were like leaving, so I'm like, maybe that's my sign to say it over here. But I meant to say it last night, but you were gone, so I didn't want to like bother you or whatever. Yeah, see, so that's why there's a guilt there from him. Like your mom didn't say anything, and now I know why. Because they looked like they wasn't happy like the first time when I read. Remember when I read the first time and they were talking about the milk and the place they were in and all that shit, and it was like a happy reading type of thing. But yesterday it was like they were. I guess maybe your mom was probably thinking about that shit, so they were like, "Oh fuck, yeah, maybe it's time to come clean now." Yeah, as long like he basically spoke for both of them. Like he pretty much said, "Look, I didn't leave my daughter anything, so I don't want her to feel like it's my fault or or we intended that to happen. Like he feels bad because he didn't leave your mom anything, like personally leave her anything." But that's now it makes sense to me. Now it makes sense. Yeah. 'Cause I was like hesitant on whether or not I was hearing what I was hearing because he turned away from me. He was looking at me at first, and then it was weird. He turned away and he started mumbling, and I caught what he said. And then he looked at his wife, and then she looked at him, and she would just put her head. They both put their head down in like kind of like a shameful way, and just walked away, you know. And like they were like kind of like feeling bad. So I'm like, oh fuck, something happened here. So like they both feel like upset that your mom didn't get anything out of it. So they want her to know that it's not like their fault. Like it's not like, they don't want it's not that it's their fault. They're upset for not handling it. And they don't want your mom to like, hate them. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So it's like they're upset, you know. I remember now that we did talk about that about the oldest one in that reading at that time. That was a while ago, see. But I remember little bits and pieces now that I'm talking about it. It kind of makes sense to me now. I remember we were talking about that bad sister. I think it said, all right, he's not happy with the oldest one or some shit I said. Now it's kind of like coming back to me what I said. I'm trying to remember what happened. Oh, that's because they know I'm gonna tell the truth. If I was a lying bastard, then they ain't gonna tell me shit. And they know I'm gonna say the truth. That's why like I'm glad I caught you because like I tried to tell you last night, but and then I had to remember to tell you today. But that's all he said. That's all he said though. But like he said it in like he felt bad. Like I felt bad for him. And then to see his your grandmother look at him and then they walked away. they kind of felt like bad for how things panned out. But like you said, they didn't do it intentionally, but they feel that they could have done something, which they could have. So, it's just like my auntie that put us all in the will, right? When her husband died, when my uncle died 16, 17 years ago, she changed the will and took off five. It was 17 nieces and nephews. She took off five on his side because they didn't even care about them like that. You know, she didn't have a relationship with them. So why is she gonna give money to nephews and nieces that she don't give a shit about, right? So then when she was about to die, she wanted to take more people off because there were some weirdos that she was like dealing with, right? Some of my other cousins were assholes and she wanted to take them off the will too. So it was pretty gonna be like a couple people. There's 12 in total. It was 17 altogether. She took off five, and before she died, she wanted to take off more because of the way she was getting treated by some of her nieces and nephews. And come to find out, the end result was two assholes took so long to sign the paperwork, and it was on his side, her husband's side. So the husband's side, is like the bad side. But finally, they all signed the paper because they thought that the other girl was, stealing and shit, which she was. So I already checked anyway. Um, hey, Jocelyn, how you doing? Yeah, exactly. And that's the fucked up thing about wills. And that's why, like, I don't like dealing with wills and shit like that. Thanks, Marley. You didn't have to give me anything, but thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, I wanted to make sure I got that message for your mom because I know she appreciates it, and then she don't ask for much anyway. Well, that's the thing, That's why, like, when I get this inheritance money, it's my mom's sister. So, me personally, I don't care what my other brother and sisters do. But to me personally, I'm going to use some of that money to help my parents to fix their house, make sure their house is fine. I'm going to get a new carpet for their bedroom. I already painted their whole bedroom. I have to make like a little pump room for like this little water heater that they have in the closet. So when the water heater bursts, it goes in the house instead of out of the house. So I'm going to fix that too because it's like the old system. It's like a 50, 60-year-old system. So I need to upgrade that. Hey, Esmeralda, how you doing, sweetheart? You good? So I'm gonna fix that, and then I'm also gonna paint the house like after Christmas, probably when I get a chance. I'm gonna on my Christmas break, I'm gonna like paint their house on the outside and hire my cousin to help me. So I'm gonna spend some of that money I get on my parents, and I'm gonna get them like groceries and all the necessities, so that way like they're fine, like, and they're good to go. I don't have to, but I want to because it's the right thing for me personally to do. But that's the fucked up thing about wills is I'm sure after people die, they must say to themselves, fuck, I should have never left this person in my will. They didn't even give a shit about me. And I said to my mom, I bet you that out of those people on that list, if I were to quiz them on their aunt and uncle that gave them that money and say, when were they born? When's their birthday? What's their full names? Where did they live? They wouldn't even fucking know. They wouldn't know. But guess who does? I do. And some of my other, siblings and cousins do. But they don't give a shit like that. They don't care. They just want that fucking money. Yeah, a lot of people don't deserve inheritances. It's fucked up. And then like what happened in your mom's case, whereas the oldest one gets it because there is no will. So that's the fault of the parents. That's the fault of the parents. The parents should And that's what happened with my parents. They didn't have a will. And my brother, he married a hoe. So if my parents were to die, him and that hoe will have the house, right? Because it goes to them. And my mom said, over my dead body, this damn woman's gonna be living in my house. Hell no. So we said, so they were like, what can we do? So my cousin, he's a lawyer, and he has a lawyer firm. Him and his brother, they're a part of a lawyer firm. So she went to him because he speaks Portuguese and shit. So they made a will. It was like maybe about 10 years ago. They made a will and put all of us in there, like all four of us. So when they die, it'll go to all of us, which rightfully it should. But before they did that will, they came to me. Both my mom and dad came to me and said, "Look, you're the one who does the most for us because you're always doing shit for us. You fix our house, and we rather you get the house because your sisters already have a house. Your brother, I don't want him and that hoe to be in his house, and I'd rather you take it. So we rather give you put your name just on the will, just by yourself." And I'm like, no, 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 that's not gonna work. I said, no, put it on all of our names because we're all your children. But some days I say to myself, I made a big mistake. I should have just put it in my name. But me being the non-greedy person that I am, I was like, no, do it the right way, mom, dad. Just put all of our names on there. It's the right thing to do. So, but there's some days where I'm like, you know what? Fuck all of you. It should be mine. And shit can be changed, but it's like, what am I gonna do in that house all by myself if my parents die? I always tell them, I rather you not die, stay alive, and you can enjoy your house. I'm here. I don't need a damn house. I don't want one either because it means I'm gonna have more expenses, and I don't want that. So I'd rather live in my apartment and have them alive and fuck all that will shit, right? So it's a very annoying thing to deal with. But my brother ended up getting a divorce from that hoe. So now they're like, "Whew, at least it's not going to her, you know? But my brother's the type of idiot where he will, if my parents were to die today, he would be like, oh, I'm the only one that don't have a house and Mark don't have children. So I need that house. You guys have got to give it to me. Or, I'll rent it and I'll pay you guys a certain amount of money. And we'll be like, no, fuck you. You ain't getting no, you ain't fucking up that house. And I'll tell him straight to his face. Mom told me and dad told me they'd rather you not be in here because you're gonna end up fucking this house all up. You and your children. That ain't happening. Yeah, sure, Esmeralda, go ahead. I'm just finishing up a reading and just telling a story. Hey Virgo, what's up? Virgo, I know you always say that hope, You like when I say that hope. How you doing, sweetheart? You good? But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, people like make bad decisions. And a lot of if you don't have a will right now, go fucking get one. Because it's not right to like leave everything to your oldest child unless you feel like that's the right thing. Now, I'm not a parent, but I'm an uncle of six. And I tell you one thing, I don't have a will either. But if I were, my mom is on my paperwork. So they're like, if anything happens to you, you know, who do we give this to? And I wrote my mom's name on everything because my mom brought me into the world. And if I were to die today, everything I have goes to my mom because that's who deserves to have my everything that I have because she brought me into the fucking world. She wiped my ass, she washed my ass, and she changed my diapers and she fed me and she brought me to this fucking world. So if anybody, you know, gets my shit, it's her. I ain't giving it to nobody else. Fuck you. You ain't none of my damn company. You ain't my mom. And the only reason why, because like, I love my mom and she's like the person who brought me into the world. So she deserves to have everything I have. You're damn right. Fuck everybody else. I don't give a shit. You can wipe my ass. Yeah, see, Miss Bikini would tell you. See, it's a hassle if you don't leave a will. See, and that's the biggest mistake a lot of people make. So if you don't have a will, please go get one because it's going to cause a lot of issues for your siblings, your children, your parents. It's going to cause problems. Believe me, it's a pain in the ass. So please just go get a will. It's easy. It's not that expensive, and it's the best thing to do. Good night, Ninja. Take care. Good seeing you. So that's why, like I always tell people, like good. This is the first will that I've been in where I'm had to deal with it, and I'm in a will with 11 other people, and two of these assholes made it very difficult. And now that it's all solved, I'm probably gonna get my money soon. But when I do, it's like I'm grateful for it. It's free, but I'm gonna the first people I'm gonna help is my mom and dad because they're the ones who need it more than me. You see what I'm saying? If I can make my parents feel more secure in their life, then they're gonna live longer. To me, that's how it is. Like to me, my perception is if I can keep my parents happy with money and like paying for things, and I'm the type of person like I'll pay for their shit with the money that I get, and it won't phase me. It won't like I won't because I know in spirit when they're in spirit, they're gonna take care of me regardless. So you gotta look at the long term whole deal. Like you know what I'm saying? That's why like I do what I do because I know it's all coming back to me in all sorts of ways because of what I know and how I deal with my life. But see, a lot of people don't fucking look at shit like that. They're just so selfish. It's all about me, 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 me. And everybody thinks that because you're younger than somebody, they're gonna die before you, or they're gonna, because they're older. You can go before your parents. I know a lot of children that's gone before their parents. Where their parents bury their fucking children. I've seen that many times. I know plenty of people. So don't think that you're gonna watch your parents get buried and you're gonna get what they have. It might be the other way around. So that's why you gotta stay humble and you gotta stay like, above water and knock yourself in the head and say, this could be the other way around. So who the fuck you think you are waiting for something that don't belong to you? Fuck you think? That's why I can't stand some of my siblings because they're a bunch of idiots. That's why I love my sister, my youngest sister, because she's like me. She's a giver, and she'll give my parents whatever. Like she's not a greedy bitch, like my other sister and my brother. The two idiots. You're in the bathtub. Why is it that you have to tell me those things? I'm trying to read people. Now you're gonna have me thinking about, All right, Esmeralda. Let's see what you have here. Let me see. Thank you for the donation. I got it. And you said, funny because my question is about inheritance. Early this year, and left me her house. My brother is fighting me on the house. Wants me to sell it because he wants money, but I want to keep it. Fuck him. Don't worry about him. If your mom left you the house, it's yours. Your brother ain't got no say in. Well, if I do that for a living, I renovate houses and I do all that stuff. I do electrical and I renovate houses. I've done that shit all my life, right? And if you have, I'll put it to you this way. My advice is this: if you if you have the money to invest in it, like say if you have to spend 20, 30 grand on fixing it. Just say if you have to spend 20, 30 grand. You got to understand you're not going to get that money back right away. So you might as well say you need 50, 60 grand total, because you're not going to get that shit right away. Because when you rent it, you got to get compensated for what you spent. And then when you actually start making money, it's going to be at least a year or two. So if you can invest in something and not have that $20,000-$30,000 burden your pocket, then I would say go for it. Because if you're looking at shit long term, whereas like 5 years from now, you'll be making money instead of like spending it. But then again, you have to also think about having tenants ruin what you just did. So you have to get the perfect tenants. You have to get like things like that. And being a renter, you don't like, and you see these people, fuck up the house, and say you get good people, that's great. I hope you do, right? But I'm just saying, like, the overall thing is people that rent, they really don't give a shit about your house, right? And that's the thing. If you sell it, then you have the money and you can invest it in whatever you're doing. But then you also have to say, what would your mom think? So it's a lot of things to think about. Yeah, exactly. And you also have to say, do you really want to help your brother? Are you really cool with him like that? Do you really want to sell a house and give money to somebody that's, always going to be looking for more? Because remember, he's going to want his and some. So you got to ask yourself, is it really worth it? So if he never helped, then I would say don't help him either. But if your mom, you also got to ask yourself, what would your mom do? Because you know her better than anybody else, right? All right, Marty. Thanks, sweetheart. I'm glad you came by, and just tell moms what I said, and so she can be okay with it. So yeah, I'll check for you. Right. So if she would want you to give him something, then I would say, you know, you're welcome, Marty. No problem. Thanks for the donation. I appreciate it. Well, the cards are saying it's going, even if you help your brother and give him some of the money, he's going to be happy, but you're going to be very frustrated, and you're going to be worried, and like it's still going to be arguments and things like that. And if you don't do it, like if you don't give him anything, he's going to cause problems like he probably already is. But if you do it, he's going to be like happy, and he's going to feel like you're considerate. But in the back of your mind, you're going to be like, I know what my mom will want, so I'm not going to be selfish because that's not me. And I do understand that if the shoe was on the other foot, if it was me in my brother's case, I would probably want the same thing. So the cards are saying like you're probably better off selling it and then, taking some money for yourself and then giving him some, and then everybody will be happy. And I think that's the only way, like you're gonna get him off your back. Because if you think about it, if you invest in it and you rent it, he's still gonna nag you until he gets something. But at the end of the day, it's yours. Another thing is I think that it's gonna be like um, it might not be a good investment to fix the house, spend a lot of money, and then rent it because it might cause you like a lot of obstacles and problems and delays, and then the outcome of it is just gonna drive you nuts. Yeah, because I asked your mom to come through and give me an answer. Like I asked if you want she's okay with you selling the house, and it says that you're going to have difficulties dealing with it, and it's gonna cause problems. If you don't do it, like because she's saying that you're better off getting money from it and just selling it and dealing with it like that. I never suggest people to fix up an old house and sell it. You might as well just sell it the way it is, and that way you get money instead of spending it to get not to get money back that you already spent. So that don't make no sense because when you fix up a house, you're fixing it up to your liking and then selling it to somebody that's going to change everything for their liking. So I always tell people don't waste your time or your money. Sell the house as is, get what you can, and go with it. Yeah, if it's an older house, you're wasting your time. You're better off just taking whatever you can get for it. Because if you spend money on it, you're not gonna get it back. It ain't gonna happen. Unless you get like a sucker to buy it. Or you get somebody that just got the money just to buy it, that don't care about the money. Which you can get lucky, but I always suggest that to a lot of people. I would never ever do that. Like if I were to if my parents were to pass away and that house was there, it's in good shape, right? But whatever we can get for it, I'm not gonna fix it up. I'm not gonna put I've already put my money and hard earned work into it. And if it does sell for a good price, my sister and my older sister and my brother, they don't deserve the money that house is worth because me and my younger sister put money into that house, not them. So the valuation of that house is because of me and my younger sister, not because of my older sister and older brother. You know? So like I feel like the less I do, the better, but I just want my parents to be happy. So fixing up the house makes them happy. And plus, I get back at the end of the day, I'll probably get back what I put into it, which is the most positive way to look at it, even though I don't want that day to come yet, no time soon, because I don't need that house. I'd rather my parents be alive. And I'm sure everybody in this room would rather have their parents alive than worry about some fucking house or money. But then again, I don't know. Some people are probably waiting for that shit. Not me. I could care less. I just want my parents to be alive and happy. I don't give a fuck about no house. Houses are bills. And that's the thing. Houses are bills. So I would say don't do it. Yeah. Yeah. Esmeralda, if you're leaning towards selling it, that's your best bet. And try not to spend anything on it. Like. Yeah, there you go, Miss Bikini. Yeah, I agree. You're welcome, sweetheart. If you needed me check anything else, let me know. But yeah, it is. It's too much. It's too much work and too much money. So it don't make sense. Your mom in spirit is not gonna like grudge you for that because she knows that it's just the way it is. A house is a house. It just other people will enjoy it. People live in it. That's all it really is. I don't really care. Like to me, a house is a house. Is if you fix it up to what you like, and then when you die, it stays here, and we don't. So to me, like it's not a big deal. That's the best thing to do. If you're selling, like I said, if you're selling something, never put money into it because somebody's gonna change that. I saw it firsthand. That's why when I saw that shit, I was so mad because I remember I did a job at this house and we put all like this wooden flooring in all down the steps and all on the bottom, all wooden floors. And the person who bought the house, the first thing they did was take all the wooden floors out and put all tile. So all that work and all that money that person spent on that house to fix it up to sell it, the person said, "I don't want no wood floors. Fuck that. I want all tile." So they just ripped up thousands of dollars like it was nothing and put tile down and just took that wood and just threw it away. So they spent all this money to put a higher valuation for the house, and then you didn't even get that money, and then the person that went in there ripped it all the fuck up. So it don't make no sense. It don't. Don't waste your time. Just sell the damn shit and leave it alone. It's just like a car. If you're gonna sell a car, right? A secondhand car, and like it needs some new tires, but like it's okay. Don't spend money on new tires because that person might take those rims and tires off and put some new rims on it, and it's there for nothing. And that person gets to make money off those tires that you bought. Just sell this shit the way it is. Fuck it. Give it to somebody else. Let it be somebody else's problem. That's how I look at it. Because I've experienced those things in the past and it kind of pisses me off. Like you spend all this money thinking that that person will enjoy the things that you spent. And they end up changing everything. Right. So at least you're gonna use the 10 grand to replace shit that where you're going because it's worth it because you're going there to live. But if you're leaving somewhere, don't spend no money on it because the people who's going in there is gonna change. It's just like a car. You could sell a white car to somebody and they're like, you know what, I love this car, but I can't drive around a white car. I need a blue car. So they're gonna take that car, spray it blue. You see what I'm saying? And you just finished touching it up, spending $1,000 on some body work, when they're just gonna redo it themselves. It's a pain in the ass, but I always recommend people not to do extra things. When you're selling something, sell that shit and let somebody else fix it. Let it be somebody else's problem because they're not gonna like the same things you like. When I moved into this apartment, the color of these walls were like a vomit green, like someone like spit mucus on it. It was disgusting. It was like a yellowish green, like slime. You ever seen slime? Like they have like the little kids have their little slime balls or whatever. It's like a yellowish green. It was like vomit. That's what these walls were. That's the first thing I did. I couldn't even live in here. I was like, oh hell no. First thing I did was rip out the carpet because the girl that was living here had long brown hair and her hair was all over the carpet. First thing I did, put on some gloves, I ripped the carpet right out and I threw it in the trash and I went and got a new carpet right away. That was the first thing. And the second thing I did was paint the whole apartment gray like it is now. I want no damn slime looking walls on around me. Hell. But the person who painted it, I knew them and they said, yeah, I just freshened up everything and repainted. I was like, well, you did that for nothing. He goes, I don't care, at least I got paid. Oh yeah, definitely not. Yeah, if that's the case, if his brother and sister are getting a piece of it, then that's more of a reason not to do it. Because then you're gonna lose that money. You see what I mean? You're gonna lose that. That's why sometimes I don't really want to spend a lot of money on my parents' house because I know that I'm not my other siblings are gonna get money that I spent on the house. So it's not fair to me, you know. But then again, I said, well, you know what? All I know is I'll be compensated and in the long run because God's gonna keep me safe. That's all I fucking care about. Like, you know, I honestly don't care about money and houses and cars and bikes and I don't really. I mean, some people think I'm a materialistic person, but I'm not. I just like nice shit because I was brought up when I was, you know, raised and brought up. I never really had shit like that. So now that I can afford it, I treat myself. It doesn't mean I'm materialistic. It means that I like good shit that I like because I can afford it now. But I grew up with nothing. So I don't give a fuck what you think about me. And that's it. I stay humble because I know that certain things happen. And I don't want to be rich anyway. Everybody's gonna be knocking on my fucking door. Mark, I need money, please. I know you're rich. Please give me a couple $1,000. Come on, please. I need to help me. I'm like, you better get the fuck off my property. You can give me you shit. Hell no. Hey Dan, how you doing, bro? Yeah, that seems to be the topic a lot lately. It's like people talking about like inheritances and how they got fucked over. You know, it's hard, man. See your parents or like somebody you love, your husband, your wife pass away, and you got to deal with like bullshit wills that weren't done. Like people never really think about that. You know, they don't think about what they put you through by not having a will. That's one thing I don't like about people who don't have one. That's why I'm glad, like, you know, some wills are decent. But yeah, it's annoying. I can't stand all that stuff. People get shit for nothing. People get shit they don't deserve. But it's a part of life, you know. I always tell people like don't let that shit bother you because a lot of people they get things and then they waste it or they don't deserve it. Who cares if they don't deserve it? You know? Who cares if they don't deserve it? Who cares if they're gonna get more than you or less than you or the same as you and they don't deserve it? You gotta tell yourself like fuck that, like, you know, try not to worry about that stuff. Because at the end of the day, um, when we all die, we're not gonna have a house and we're not gonna have money and we're not gonna have everything that we have. You know, it's all gonna go, and all we're gonna do is be in spirit, and we're gonna see everything, but we can't touch it no more. We can't, you know, use it anymore. We're just gonna be spirits looking at shit. Oh look, you know, that's my old hat. Oh look, that's my old house. Oh, that's oh my old fucking whatever, you know. Oh, I remember when I built that. That's all you're gonna be doing when you die and you have and you're in spirit. Trust me, you can go back to your house, but you won't be able to, you know, to physically enjoy your belongings anymore. Anything you're gonna do is see it, and that's all about you're gonna get. And all the money you had and all the things you had, everybody else is gonna enjoy it, and you gotta get over it. So try not to like really dwell too much on what if and what could and what should and what didn't and you know who got what and whatever. Like that shit shouldn't matter no more. Well, it's always the people who like are waiting for. The thing is, Miss Bikini is the people like them. People like them, they don't deserve it, but they're going to get something from it, right? Because of who they are. And the most annoying thing is knowing that they're getting something, but remember, spirit has the last laugh. So spirit can always do something to that person when they get their belongings because it's still theirs in spirit. So some spirit have the choice to or the power to like make sure that they don't enjoy what that person gets. And I can give you an example. And my auntie and uncle, my godparents, put it that way, they have money. And my godfather, he died 20 something years ago. And his wife, which is my godmother, she had everything. And when she got sick, her niece, which is my first cousin, took care of her for like a year before she died. And she conned my godmother to she got a lawyer and said, "Look, my godmother wants you to make all these papers for her estate, her money, her belongings, and she wants to sign a paper so I can go to the bank and get her money so I can pay for her things and whatever not." So my godmother, she was like had half dementia. She didn't know what the fuck she was doing. She was already in her 80s. And my cousin corrupted her to sign everything over because she says, "Look, you're living in my house now. I'm taking care of you, so you got to give me all your shit. You don't have a will, but you got to give me everything. Sign this paper." So she had no choice because nobody was taking care of her. So my mom was pissed because my mom is her sister. And she told my mom that she was going to leave everything to her and to all of us. But she never got to it. She never got the will because some people think they're not going to die. See, and they get stupid like that. So, anyway, long story short, my cousin, when she got all the money and the property, her and her husband they had a big piece of land and they bought a big piece of land and they got like 150 goats. And they started to breed the goats, get goat milk, sell the milk and to a dairy farm, to a dairy place to make cheese and to make all that shit. So after about a month of having these, I would say no, about 2 or 3 months they had the goats. All of a sudden the goats all got sick and all the goats had to be put down. So all this money that they spent on those goats and all like the equipment to deal with the milk, all the goats died. They had to literally cremate all the goats because it was 150 of them. And they all got sick and they all died. So then, about a couple months later, they thought they put up cameras. They put up cameras and they said, yeah, somebody must have like was hating on us and they must have poisoned the goats or me and whatever. So then they got like, I think my mom said they got like about 11 pigs. And the pigs had babies. One had 9, one had this. So they ended up having like 50 pigs in the end of the day. And this went on for like, about a year they had the pigs. So all of a sudden, the pigs started getting sick and they started dying. Then they were left with one pig out of all of them, like the original pig, right? So then that pig ended up dying as well. And they were left with nothing. And the cameras didn't catch anybody because there wasn't nobody that was doing anything to them. But guess who was? Probably my godparents in spirit. Not probably, it was. As if to say, yeah, you took our money, you corrupted us, you fucked us over, so now we're gonna fuck you over. So those animals got sacrificed and put in spirit for a cause to teach a lesson to people who do fucking bullshit. And now, and you know what else? The house that my godmother had to give her in the will when she died, that house, they fixed it up. They spent like maybe 20 grand on it, fixed it up, put all new electrical, fixed it all up with with that money that she that fixed her house up. They rented it. They rented it for like maybe, I would say, a couple months, maybe 8 7 8 months. And the people who were renting it couldn't pay, so they ended up leaving. And then ever since this happened, like maybe I would say like 5 years ago, right? Because my godmother's been dead maybe 6 years, right? 6 years now. So a year later, they fixed this house up and started renting it. And do you know that nobody's in that house? They can't rent it and they can't sell it. Nobody wants it, and nobody wants to rent it, and nobody wants to live in it. You know why? Because my godparents probably haunt the shit out of anybody that goes in there just because. So if you think you're gonna get away with the dumb shit that you do, my mom says it the best, and I say it on here. I've said it on here a million times. And my mom says that her mom and her father used to say, there's an old saying that if you don't pay for your sins on earth, you know, and if you don't pay for your sins on earth before you die, you know exactly where you're going. Hell. And guess what? You still might end up going there, but you're gonna fucking pay dearly on earth before you go. So that's exactly what happened. So ain't nobody gonna tell me no different. And my mom always like says like, what was the chances of that shit happening? And I told my mom, I said, that's fucking spiritual karma. That's God don't like ugly. I said, that's spirit. I said, my mom don't really like, she believes in God and Jesus and all that, but she doesn't know that I'm a psychic and all that. She doesn't know that I'm a medium. But I tell her things. I tell her that I have a psychic friend. And my psychic friend told me that that's what happened. But really, it's the information that I got. So I kind of like, not lied to my mom, but like I kind of tell her that it's somebody else. But she wouldn't believe it was me. And it's better that way. But I know that's what happened. And that's why I tell people, don't fuck around. Because spirit knows exactly what you're doing. And if you think you're going to fuck somebody over, and when they die, they're gone and they can't do nothing, don't ever believe that. They will come back. Why do you think they make movies of that shit? Because it really is real. It really is real. You will get haunted. You will get destroyed in your real life from spirit if they choose to fucking come after you. Because if you really did some dumb shit, then you're gonna get karma. Believe it. Don't believe because that person don't exist in the world and their physical presence, their spiritual presence will get you. It's inevitable. Trust me. Take my word for it. You will get fucked. I guarantee you. I will guarantee you that spirit will come haunt your ass if you think you're gonna get away with dumb shit. Oh shit. Pressed the wrong button. I meant to took a a screenshot of my own fucking home page on my phone. I meant to close it and it ended up taking a snapshot. A screenshot. Stupid ass phone. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, exactly. Jocelyn, yeah. Yeah, Dan, mothers always knew. Yeah. Yeah, it is the Old Testament. So that's what happened. That's why I don't really, that's why I value spirits so much because I don't want them to harm me. That's why I ain't done nothing wrong to them. Don't fucking me. I ain't done nothing. If anything, they help me. They give me all this information and make people and give information to people, and I just relate the message. That's great. I'll be the channel. Just don't fucking, do any bad shit to me, please. I ain't done nothing wrong. I ain't stole nobody's money. I ain't corrupted nobody to sign no will. I ain't done none of that shit. You got the wrong motherfucker. You know what I mean? I acknowledge spirit. I don't disrespect them. 'Cause they'll come get you. Who will they? You know? Yeah, I believe that very much, Justin. I always try to do the right thing because I don't want to be that person that suffers for my actions that I know that could have been prevented. So I always try my best to like stay away from all sorts of conflict and money and houses and wills, and I stay away from all that shit. When I found out I was in my auntie and uncle's will and I saw like the paperwork and how much I'm getting and who's on the list, I just shook my head like, and I actually shed some tears, and I was like, wow, I can't believe my auntie and uncle did this for all of us. Like, that's so nice. And then later on that day, I closed my eyes and I was like trying to bring them in. And they were like, they waved their hand. It was like, nah, don't worry about it. You deserve it, you guys. I love you guys and this and that. They were like, at least it's good to you guys and so forth. And I was like, okay, cool. I just thank them in spirit for putting me on the wheel. Like that's very nice of them. So it's nice to be in a will and get something, but like if I'm not, it don't phase me. It took me all this time to get something from somebody because I really don't care. Like I always tell people, you ain't gotta put me on no will. It's cool. I got my own shit and I'll survive and I'll be okay. I'll be good. Because to me, like all that stuff don't mean nothing. It's a good gesture, but if you didn't, I wouldn't be surprised. If my name weren't on that list, I wouldn't have got offended. I'd have been like, oh well, that's cool. To everybody who gets it, enjoy it while you can. That's all I'd say. That's the truth. You know what, Justin? I don't do that either. Like I'm not that type of person. I honestly, I'm not gonna lie. There's some days where I want to be, but then I say, you know what? I'm just gonna let go and let God deal with it. I agree, Miss Bikini, but the best thing, in my opinion, is if you're not if you're married, yes, I agree with all that, but I've never been married, so I can't vouch for that, but you can, and that's great. But in my position right now, like I love myself, I love my family, and like I bring the best out of myself. I always tell myself, Spirit's got my back, God's got my back, I got good people in my life, everything's good, so why am I gonna complain? Or why would I even, be negative or feel any type of negativity? But everybody has like a different life. So if you bring the best out of him and you enjoyed your brief time with him and all that stuff, and he died a certain way and you're happy with your life and you have him in spirit, that's all that matters. you know. Like I told you from day one, you were in his life for 10 years, and you got put in his life for his last 10 years for a reason, because he was getting he was getting a good sending off. That's how you got to look at it. So the 10 years you were with him, in love with him and married him, and you were great, you did all great things, you already have great stories you tell about him and you. So you just gotta acknowledge him in spirit, know that he's there with you in spirit now, and enjoy his spirit, form. And then when you become a spirit, you can reunite with him and be with him for the rest of your life. See what I mean? So right now, you went through the physical part. Now you're going through the physical spiritual part, where your physical is spiritual. And then the next step is spiritual part, where you're with him forever in spirit. So that's how you got to look at it. You're going through the phases of a person that, spent their last physical life with you. And that's why it happened. That's why God put him in that last physical part, because he wanted to send him off with a woman that he knows that he can be with forever. That's how you got to look at it, because that's how it's supposed to be. It's your belief. That's my belief. But, other people will be like, well, blah, blah, blah. There's all these weirdos that don't believe in spirit and shit like that. So that's up to them. It's not my problem. What you believe in is not my problem. What I believe in is real, and that's all that matters. I prove it on here every day. So I ain't got nothing to prove. So I know what's real and what's not. And that's all that matters to me. Smell you later, alligator. All right, it's getting late. I need to get my ass out of here before I get caught up on here too late, like I did yesterday. But it's like almost 1 o'clock in the morning, so I need to have my ass to sleep. I've had a long day, so I need to get my ass out of here. But I'll be here tomorrow. Tomorrow's Friday night, so I'll be here tomorrow, chilling out. Hopefully Marley comes on. We can go hang out with her first and then come over here. Hey Erica, how you doing? Hi and bye. Hope you're doing good though. Anyway, you guys have a good night and a good day tomorrow. And I should be here tomorrow. And I'll probably hang out, later or whatever. But I got to do some work tomorrow. All right. Good night, Virgo, Miss Bikini, Johnson, Erica, Dan, and whoever else is in here. Good night. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Good seeing you guys.